Yo guys, tis I, the Peeps Dude, or you can just call me John. Today we got our boys, we got Dylan, we got Ryan, and today we are going to be discussing the portable console scene. We're gonna talk all things portable gaming, because there have been some crazy developments this summer, and I'm excited to give out my opinion and see what my friends have to say about it. So, for starters, well, I guess this kind of doesn't, this isn't on our Google Doc, but let me ask you this. What is the first portable gaming console you ever owned?
DS.
Yes. What about you,
Yeah.
Rye?
I don't know if this counts, but one of those like really cheap, like McDonald's, like basketball sports, like
Hell
handheld
no.
video games.
Hell no, I don't count.
No, okay.
Not a Happy Meal
so,
toy?
so we're going with like a console that can play actual multiple games and not like a Game and Watch or something. Then
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, I'm just that asshole who gets super technical.
You're
no,
good.
in that case, it would just be a Game Boy Color, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I-
it co-owned by me and my siblings.
I think mine was the Game Boy Advanced. I remember having a SpongeBob design, I think.
Nice.
That would probably be a Game Boy Advance SP then.
I don't know the specifics.
Is it the one that is it the one that folds?
I don't know. I
Or is it
don't
just
own
not-
it today.
Okay,
I don't
fair
have
enough.
it anymore.
fair
But
enough.
yeah, I was just curious. So obviously all three of us have Nintendo portable, or at least started out with Nintendo portable consoles, so they are kind of,
Only ones in the games at the beginning.
what's up?
Until PlayStation, they were the only one in the game
Pretty
for
much.
portable gaming.
Pretty much. And PlayStation's very hit or miss. Xbox, I'm gonna get to Xbox later on after we talk about PlayStation. So let's discuss the Wii and the Wii U, because that's the first on our list, I guess. Wii, pretty popular device, and then they came out with the Wii U. We're made to think it's a popular device. It's going to be semi-what portable, but if you walk away from the console by 10 feet with the gamepad, it's probably not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Wii. If we're talking about like the legacy, printed the money while they had it, but it also ruined their image in terms of like their actual core audience.
Mm-hmm.
Made them think that they didn't have the hardware, made them think that they didn't make the games for them anymore. And then the Wii U was kind of killed by that fact because it wasn't powerful enough as what a lot of the core audience wanted, and a lot of the casual audience was confused by it, and there was no chance of it being portable. So the Wii U was a massive failure, and they've even said like if the Switch wasn't successful, that was going to be the end of Nintendo. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
have heard the executives say that, but
I did
And the
not hear
thing
that.
is, it feels like the Wii U is more like a Wii Pro that failed, because at the end of the day, yeah, you got newer games, you got Smash for Wii U, you got Mario Kart 8, but I'm pretty sure you could probably get that on the Wii if you wanted to, minus the gamepad.
well, the Wii U was an HD console, and the Wii was not.
Okay.
So they would all be de-resed, but also in terms of like the gameplay, I don't think there's anything that the Wii U had that the Wii couldn't have handled.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously gameplay evolves with generations.
Yeah.
The Atari could not play Breath of the Wild, just looking poorly. Like it doesn't have the option to play it.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that's an extreme example, but I don't think the Wii U had anything that the Wii couldn't handle in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to add, Dylan?
No, you guys pretty much touched on everything. I mean,
That's fair.
yeah, I mean, no, yeah, I would just be reiterating. I will say this though. The Wii was. I don't think that it can be understated how important it was in terms of the evolution of consoles as we kind of know it.
Mm.
Because you want to know how bold a move it was to completely take away a joystick. I mean, did the nunchuck come out simultaneously?
Yes.
Probably,
It did?
yeah.
Because Wii Boxing or Wii
Yeah,
Sports
Wii Sports
Boxing.
Boxing,
That was
yeah.
a launch title, and it
That's right.
had the
That's right.
nunchuck.
Well, either way, what a bold move to completely redesign the controller and take the joystick out of the HUD, you know? And
Yeah.
now you point at your TV and it just works.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's some wild stuff.
Yeah, that was
So I will
definite
say that
experimentation.
definitely appreciate the boldness of the Wii. No, and the
And
Wii U
you,
is just kind of fucking there.
yeah.
Wii U
And
was ahead of its time. The Wii U really it was, and I actually disagree. I don't think it was a Wii Pro. I think it was a proto Switch. That's how
Oh
I.
yeah, no, yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's obviously closer to a Switch than it's what the Wii U is what the Switch could have been years ago, but I don't know if that technology was ready yet.
There.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And honestly, even assuming that it was marketed better, I think the Wii U could have been a success.
Mhm.
Obviously not as big a success as the Wii, but not as big a failure as it was if it was just
Yeah.
properly marketed.
That's fair to say. That's fair to say. So let's dial it back a bit in time and let's discuss probably Nintendo's biggest success when it comes to portable gaming. That's not including the Switch, the DS, the DS Lite, the 3DS, the DSi. Basically dominated.
We're skipping over the Game Boy and skipping over Pokemon Mania.
I mean, we can unless you want to discuss it. I don't have too many memories with the Game Boy.
I will touch over it briefly because I do think it's important to set the tone for portable gaming.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back in the day, Game Boy and Pokemon in particular and Tetris were king. They were the king of soccer game like timeouts or bench time. They were the king of long road trips. If you had kids that you wanted to distract in your car, you would put a Game Boy in their hands and they would really get into it. And I think, the social aspect of Pokemon made it almost like a virus, like a contagion. Kids would spread it to each other. They would want to trade their Geodude or their Graveler to evolve into a Golem. Like, it was so digestible, and it really set the stage for. I don't think portable gaming could have been a thing without it, really. Because I don't think today many Americans have an appetite for portable gaming, and I think they would have no appetite if not for those memories of the Game Boy for long car trips and like whatever. Because most people just like spend most of their time in their home, or like when they're out, they're doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of establishing it early as kids is why portable gaming can exist. And so I think the Game Boy really set up well into the DS, and then the DS is the natural evolution, and it's what an evolution it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all fair to say. Definitely a hierarchy with evolution, everything built on what came before. That's easy to say. I definitely have a lot of memories playing the Nintendo DS on long car rides when I was younger. And even today, as an adult, I find myself on car rides where I'm not driving, playing my Nintendo Switch in the car just to pass the time, practicing so hopefully maybe Ryan doesn't 3-stock me next time we play Smash Bros.
An admirable goal.
An admirable goal, yes, indeed.
You want to hear something tragic? I was trying to get Mario into Elite Smash earlier, and I dropped by 6 million GSP. It was rough.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Oh, actually, that's all I had to say on the matter.
Okay, so the DS was important. I think the DS really played a lot into evolving touchscreen technology. Like
Yeah,
it was kind of before even the iPod Touch. And I think really, I don't know if the technology would have been as well accepted beforehand. And Pokemon, it's so hard to talk about portable gaming without talking about Pokemon because they're so closely tied together. But it's such a social game. It's such an in-depth game. It's such a game with mass appeal. It is the most profitable media franchise for a reason. The
Yep.
media franchise total. Where I think the portable gaming carries Pokemon and Pokemon carries portable gaming. They're great for each other. And the DS and the DS Lite and the 3DS, DSi all actually had great gaming experiences that understood what portable gaming was, where it's supposed to be digestible, fit well within the control scheme, utilize what is special about portable gaming, whatever the special features are, the touchscreen, the dual screens, the microphone, and do nothing more. There's actually a really cool experience I had in Phantom Hourglass. One of my favorite video game tricks I've ever seen, where there's a part where you have a map that has like a part marked where you need to go, and you have your map that doesn't have that marking. It says press them together. And I had no idea how to do it. I was trying to like figure it out for 2 hours. My mom called me. I had to leave. I closed the DS and I came back and it was solved because I pressed the top map to the bottom one by folding the DS. That is the coolest
That's
thing I've ever
wild.
seen.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
And so I think the DS really had games that utilized its technology well, and without getting too much into the PlayStation Portable and Vita, I think they kind of lacked that, and also the small discs didn't make sense
Yeah.
in terms of data storage. But the DS was revolutionary, and I think
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
think,
sorry, go ahead.
I really think it's set up well into the Switch.
Yeah, I think you touched on the idea of how they introduced like touch screen capabilities on the DS. And I think that also goes hand in hand with how they introduced motion controls on the Wii. Like Nintendo was they were very ambitious in the late 2000s with their gaming consoles.
Well,
With
and
the DS, with the Wii. It was
everyone
crazy.
copies them. The Kinect and the PlayStation Move came out after the Wii because everyone wanted in on it, and now the Steam Deck is coming out after.
But it's
Yeah,
like it's
they were too
too
late.
late. Like,
Well, and I think that might happen with the Steam Deck, which
What do you
we'll
mean?
touch on later. That the people will see it as a Switch that doesn't play
It's
Mario,
too late.
doesn't play Breath
It's
of the
just-
Wild.
yeah.
And can you emulate it on the Steam Deck? Yes, but who in the actual market will? That's a very small
That's-
segment of the
I
market.
guess
yeah.
that's fair. I don't know. We'll get to there. We'll get to that point. Let's discuss the Nintendo Switch.
Yay.
Well, let's discuss this gaming console we keep dancing around. One of the gaming consoles we dance around.
The little console that could.
A little console that could.
The little console that could run Age of Calamity at 16 frames.
The Nintendo Switch right here.
That little number.
This little guy right here.
So, actually, I want to say Joy-Cons not as bad as people say. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Not
Except
great,
the drift.
except the drift, and they're too small. But like, for what they are, very cool. And the Switch is very sleek. Switching out the Joy-Cons feels satisfying. I just really like the Switch. Like, even after all this time, and is it as powerful as it needs to be? No. Would 4K be nice, or like even a steady frame rate at 1080? And not, it doesn't even have every game at 1080. But like, that would all be nice. But it's still a good console.
It's all right. I just think that these consoles they need to improve. Like, what was it? The Switch plays 1080p docked. The Wii played what, 720p? Or
No,
1080?
it played 1080 for a lot of games. Well, the thing is, for both of them, it's game to game. It depends. Pikmin 3 on the Switch is still only 720.
I am just under the impression that yes, Nintendo is very, very innovative with their gaming consoles. We see that with the Switch. We saw that with the Wii and the Nintendo DS. But when it comes to like quality, like frame rate, like picture quality, they're just so behind Sony and Xbox when it comes to that.
They've always been the Wii. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, Dylan, when it came to like early days of me making videos, Dylan always told me quality is better than quantity. And I'm sure you still feel that way, Dylan.
Yes, I do. Yes, 100%.
And it baffles me because it's like they keep pumping out these different consoles, the Switch OLED, the Wii U, the Wii, all the mini consoles, all the DS redesigns, all these
3DS.
different
Wasn't
consoles.
there like a large 3DS, like a fucking like regular
large
Yeah.
2DS.
3DS XL.
Like, why not just make a console?
Just get something just make something really good.
Take like a 5-year break from making gaming consoles, come back, make something extraordinarily powerful by comparison.
Well, so here's one thing I'll say about this, and this is really important to consider. Parents are less willing to spend a lot of money on their children than adults are willing to spend on game consoles for themselves. Nintendo is a company that primarily caters to children. Nintendo has nearly always been the company of a lower price point and weaker hardware. And that is something that will just need to be accepted. I would love a Switch Pro. I would probably get one personally. But I think having the weaker option makes sense and is actually a good thing.
I guess, as long as it comes with like a more friendly price point for each console.
And it does.
Like if the PlayStation 5 is going for $500 and the Xbox Series X is as well, I don't want to pay for the Switch, I don't want to pay for the Switch OLED if it's $400 and capable of 1080p graphics and no steady frame rate, not even steady 30.
Well, the base Switch is only 60% of the price of those consoles, and it does do HD graphics. Now, it's not 4K. It's not necessarily steady frame rate all the time, but it is pretty good for what you get, especially considering the extra design constraints that they have that those consoles do not, being the portability. They have to have a battery. Those consoles do not have to have a battery. They have to have design around heat while still being tiny, while still being handheld.
Yeah.
So I completely understand, and I actually do like Nintendo's approach. I am just waiting for the Pro option, and I think that is important, and I want them to give the option to everyone.
And you're alluding to the point I made earlier about how impressive it is that they're being very innovative with their gaming consoles. I mean, PlayStation has been making home consoles. Xbox has been making home consoles, excluding the PSP and the Vita, of course, but still. I think it's their creativity that makes them as successful as they are, as well as appealing to a younger audience with a more friendly price tag. I think it's just being as innovative as they are. Like, if they made like another home console like the Wii or the GameCube today, I think they do fine, as long as they either are very innovative with it like they were with the Wii, or if they had a friendly price tag, or if they actually were like, okay, let's make this $500, 4K all the way, 60 frames locked per second.
Now, something else I want to point out about how much I love the Switch.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you buy a console over a good PC? What is the reason to do that?
Exclusives.
Okay, that's actually one of two reasons. The reason I was actually kind of fishing for is ease of play, or plug and play. Consoles are supposed to be, you plug it in, hook it up to your TV, put the disc in, and you play.
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation have lost the ball on that, especially with last gen. New gen is more there, I actually think, but Xbox One and PS4, like,
with exclusives, you said?
No. Plug in and play. Normally, you put in a disc, and it needs to update. It needs to do all these things. With the wireless controllers, you need to make sure you're like, the ease of play has lost, and like they also have these UIs that are more confusing to a lot of more casual, less tech savvy people. Nintendo's Switch UI in plug in and play is super convenient. It's not I have to download these things, I have to check my drivers, I have to check, mouse, everything. Key bindings. No, it's you plug it in and you play. And so, and on top of having good exclusives, the Switch, I think, is probably still the best console on the market right now. So,
Yeah. Yes. So that I think you are correct in that. I think all right, so not in terms of maybe quality of product in their respective industries, would I put Apple and Nintendo in a league of their own, but I will tell you that Apple employs very similar principles in that you turn the iPhone on and it just works. You open your AirPods and they just connect. Your iPad just works with the pencil. Like your iMac, your MacBook, you open it and it goes. Windows and well, nobody uses Linux. Let's be real here, but
Yeah.
Windows PCs are a little bit more of a bitch to set up. And when you talk about Nintendo, it's almost too easy. It's almost too easy of a console to use.
Yeah, I
Because
guess I know what you mean.
oh,
Yeah.
you gotta understand. Take a demographic, for example, I don't know specifics, but let's say I can't think of a specific that comes to mind. But
8 to
I can
13-year-olds
tell
or something.
say a little bit older. We'll say yeah. You'll say young. Say 13, 14 years old. They just want to play Smash, or they just want to say for the Xbox, they just want to play Gears of War or Halo. But you made a great point was that Nintendo, it just works.
Yeah.
And Xbox is like power, HDMI, get the controller connected, get connected to the internet, put Halo in, or install Halo.
Xbox
Update,
Live pops up.
get Xbox Live. You have to buy Xbox Live. Then you have to go through. Then you got to update Halo or Gears. And then that takes another 6 hours. And then you're ready to go. But only if you have Xbox Live can you access anything. And then you got to I don't know. I can just appreciate.
Yeah,
simplicity.
it does have ease. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say. You just have to appreciate the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
It just works.
I will say, I don't know, Ryan, if you mentioned this or not. Sorry, I'm kind of sick while doing this when I was blowing my nose. But with Nintendo, you do get the updates once in a while. They're just not as long as PlayStation or Xbox is. Xbox and PlayStation, you're gonna probably change the input, watch something while it downloads. Nintendo, you just have to sit there, play on your phone for 5 minutes, and then it's good.
Yeah, and that's right, but it's way more manageable.
Yeah, it's way more manageable. And with PlayStation, at least, you have all these different updates you got to do constantly, and it's just frustrating, especially when it's at the sacrifice of being able to play online and get trophies in the games that you play, I guess. And on Nintendo, it's okay, you have one update you have to do right now, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
now,
I'm pretty sure you could even play those games offline without that update, even if you wanted to.
Yeah. Now, getting into some things about the Switch that I don't like, apart from its hardware, because we've already touched on that. I do wish the Switch had achievements or themes, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They have a light theme, dark theme, and obviously most people go with dark theme who know because it's easier on your eyes. But I should be able to play Smash and get an achievement for clearing classic mode on 9.9 difficulty. I should be able to play Breath of the Wild and get an achievement for getting all 120 or 32 shrines of the DLC. And it's kind of disappointing that I don't. So,
and the thing is, the Switch has a screenshot function. I feel like that should go hand in hand with trophy support. Get the achievement or the trophy, and then the Switch automatically takes a screenshot, so you always have that memory when you look back at your storage.
Yeah. So just a couple criticisms of the Switch, or themes. The PS4 has some really good themes. Kingdom Hearts and Persona come to mind in particular.
PS5 actually,
the classic PS1 theme is cool. The old Like I remember on my
Yes.
PS4, I need to get it hooked up, but you have the PS1 load up sound
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's
and
also a
color
PS2 one
scheme.
too.
Yeah, PS2, like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Those are
And
pretty cool.
and so like, why does the Switch at least not have, let's say, their four biggest heavy hitters: Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing,
Mm-hmm.
or in Pokemon, or
Yeah.
for 5.
Yeah.
And the thing
So
is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It would add a lot of personality to the Switch that it is kind of lacking, and I just want to see it.
Mm-hmm. And I know we're focusing more on portable gaming, but the PlayStation 5 does not have themes either, and it's disappointing, but I can't
Agreed.
really see it doesn't lend itself well to having themes like the PS4 really does. So I kind
Yeah,
of get it, but still, it is.
I think the Switch could too, but
Yeah.
I think
So,
that'd actually be really easy to make.
mm-hmm.
So, moving on. What are your guys' thoughts of the OLED for the Switch?
Seems like a
It's
waste, man.
a
Like,
nice little cash grab.
like
My
I love.
opinion.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm all for beautiful screens, thin screens. Um, like I have nice monitors,
Mhm.
and like it's a good time playing on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I can't believe Nintendo did this. If you look on their website, they literally have like a side by side where the like of the differences between them, and like the only thing
Everything's the
different
same.
is the OLED screen. Like everything else is the exact same.
Yeah.
It does have twice the internal memory. It has the LAN port for the dock.
Ooh,
It has
yeah, we all use goddamn LAN port anymore. Like, sorry, like I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
buy it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, John, you purchased it, right? So it's like
I got it
I
because it looks
totally,
cool.
I love that. I'm all for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But like, damn, I really wish that they would just say, okay, like here we go, and we're gonna make like a nice upgrade, a worthy upgrade. Like
Mm-hmm.
what I don't want for you to happen, John, is that you purchase this and then they come out a year from now and they're like, here's the Switch Pro, and like it's like literally twice as better.
But that's gonna
I wouldn't
happen.
get it.
I
I wouldn't
know.
buy. I'm not gonna buy it.
It is. It is. Well, it's not gonna be a year. It's gonna be maybe 2 years, maybe 3. If I had to guess, because the thing is, they don't want what comes after the Switch. What comes after the Switch means that they reset their install base, which means that they sell less games. So
Yeah.
they want to stay with the Switch as long as possible, and they use a Switch Pro to do that.
Mm.
And that's my humble opinion. And then they can have more third-party games, your Call of Duties or whatever, and have that be Switch Pro exclusives. I think
Yeah.
that happens. The Switch OLED, I think, is very situational. I think you only get a Switch OLED, if you think you would primarily play portably and don't already have a Switch.
Yeah.
Because every single upgrade is portable apart from the memory. Increased audio, portable only. Better kickstand, portable only. OLED screen, portable only.
Better battery, I think you said. Portable only. Well,
Yeah,
that's
kind of.
dependent on which one you have, which
Yeah,
for me is
which
better battery.
yeah, it would be a better battery for you and me, but not for every Switch owner because they upgraded the Switch layout at some point in 2019.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I think it's good for the people who
Ooh.
it situationally applies to, but for everyone
Mhm.
else, it's kind of a waste.
Yeah. I just play portably quite frequently on the
Yeah.
road,
Fair enough.
at
I
school.
really so.
I
I
mean,
respect that's a better fit for you and not for me,
I mean,
and
yeah, don't you
that's
live
why
on
I'm not getting it.
campus?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So your ease of access to it is not as difficult as
Yeah.
me. I have to
I can just
physically
walk
take
home
it to
and play it on my
campus.
TV. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can just walk home and play it on my TV.
Yeah, I have to either drive home or take it with me. But,
Yeah.
anywho, let's talk about the other side of this battlefield that is the portable console wars. The PlayStation response or lack thereof. I have 3 points of discussion we're going to talk about. The third probably don't know as well as the first two, so I'll explain it when we get to it. So the PlayStation Portable is probably PlayStation's most successful portable gaming console. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's weird. It's fine. Never had one myself, but know several people who did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it had any console pushers was its primary fault.
No good
I don't
exclusives.
Yeah, no good exclusives, no real reason to get one. I think it was more powerful, but that also meant it was more expensive, and with nothing to play on it, that was only ever going to hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand why PlayStation didn't have more better games ready. It felt like it was set up to fail. I don't think it was necessarily destined to. I think it was neglected.
I think
Hmm.
both the PSP and the Vita were both neglected.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, and this is someone who wasn't in that scene and doesn't know all the details, but they just kind of seemed weak from the outside. And I'm sure they did have some great games, but it's like compared to the DS, it's no
And the
shot.
3DS.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, because I think the Vita kind of competed with 3DS.
okay.
But
And like also for that size and like for so disk drivers in a portable console make no sense. They're so easy to break
yeah.
portably. And
Hmm.
then with the size of disk and the whole, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not good data storage.
Yeah.
And it's as big of an error as Nintendo still using chips for the N64 when PlayStation and Sega switched over to disc. And it's like, why are you still in the past, Nintendo? It's almost the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Um, I think also I'll show off the Vita because I have it available to look at. Here is the PlayStation Vita, at least
Okay.
my Japanese import of it.
Okay. I actually didn't realize
Never
you had
owned a Vita. I never owned a Vita, but I've heard
This has, I
good things about it.
believe, yeah, it has the disc insert right here.
I'm sure it's a
I
fine
think.
console.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've heard that. I don't know what games or anything come out, and I really
Yeah,
don't know.
this has terrible storage mostly, the Vita, that's why it didn't do so good. But I didn't get it for the storage or the games. I got this for a very specific reason that I'm going to explain right now. And that's actually their third bullet point. Remote play, PlayStation Remote Play. You've
This
kind
is
of seen me
cool.
do this.
Yeah, this is
So
cool.
this console can play PlayStation 4 games remotely.
And 5, right? It can have them
No,
streamed to it. No,
no.
just 4.
This can only play PS4. It can play a little bit of PlayStation 3 as well, but just 3 a little bit and all of 4. Where 5 comes into play, my phone can play 5, PlayStation 5 or 4,
Yeah.
but not the Vita. So basically, at the start of the new generation, the Vita became even more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Fell out of relevance.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's the best way to describe it. I think PlayStation has done a very great job with how they're handling, I guess, stream gaming like that in that aspect, because you can leave your PlayStation 4 or 5 on rest mode, go take your phone or your PlayStation Vita if you're playing PS4, and you can go play your games remotely, and it's not too bad as long as you have good internet.
I think
It's
that's
not,
cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It is.
Well, and
It is.
especially too if they have a USB-C or like Apple Lightning input, like controller input that latches onto either side of the phone to
Mm-hmm.
play, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I know there are things like that. I don't know if there are anything like that for remote play, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it has an interesting and promising future actually.
Yeah. What do you think, Dylan?
Um, I'll say that there are interesting aspects of the Vita, like all these portable things that here's all throw out there. I'll throw an overarching theme, like judge them, like say good or bad, like whatever you want. But I think that each of them as we are talking about these, and like they each have a very interesting, unique identifier about each of them. You know what I mean? Like each one is a little bit revolutionary, like in its own way. And like, come back to what we were talking about more specifically, like the remote play of the Vita. That's something that is the first of its kind, is it not?
I
Yes.
think so.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know. That has to be. I don't know any other console that like true remote play, not like here's an adaptation for the portable version. Talking about true remote play, like we are taking from big ass console and we're putting it in the portable version. I don't. That is the first of its kind, right? Like I just don't. I don't think I don't. Nothing comes to my mind that.
I mean, Nintendo has never done anything like
Oh,
it,
doesn't, right?
but to be fair, they don't really need to because you can just take the console on the go.
Correct. So I don't
But
know.
in the context of like the Wii or the Wii U, you have to play it docked.
Right there.
Technically,
Yes,
you gotta play it
yes.
in front of a giant TV or just a TV in general. You can't
Yeah.
play the Wii or the Wii U portably. The closest
Right.
thing you can get is playing on the gamepad on the Wii U, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now I kind of mentioned I kind of mentioned Xbox. I kind of threw out there, so I'm gonna do some I'm gonna explain what I did to prepare for this episode. I have asked, I think, one or two different Xbox specific fans, people that are buying the Xbox consoles. I asked them specifically, hey, so what is Xbox doing for portable gaming? What are they doing? Can you do like a PlayStation Remote Play like thing for Xbox? I have heard that you basically you can't. Like the best thing I heard was one person telling me that you can play on your PC, I think. You can stream to your PC, I think, with Xbox Game Pass or something. But still, that's not really portably. That's playing on your potentially a laptop, which is as close to portable as you can get. Or you can just play on your desktop, where at that point you're like, well, I might as well just play on my console at that point.
Yeah. So, and gaming laptops are chunky. They're not like your phone. They're not like the Switch.
They are loud. They're expensive.
They're loud.
Yeah.
They're heavy. They're expensive. Gaming laptops for nearly all situations aren't the move.
Yeah.
The move, a lot of college students, I think, make the mistake of getting a gaming laptop. No, get a reasonably powerful but still pretty cheap laptop and a gaming PC if that's the route you want to take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think Xbox's avenues are pretty lacking.
So Dylan, I think it is time to discuss your where you have all your grapes, I guess, where your team right now, the PC Master Race. What do you got for us?
It's a mess. It's just a mess. It really is.
So my opinion is that the PC Master Race and the Switch actually synergize the best out of any two combinations. And they give you the most variety. So let's be clear about this. Xbox doesn't have exclusives because anyone who's PC gaming is probably doing it on a Windows, and any Xbox exclusive game you can get on Windows through the Windows Store. Yes. Xbox at this point does not have exclusives that the PC Master Race cannot get.
Yeah.
But the PC Master Race has exclusives that Xbox can't get through Epic Games and emulation, but that's kind of cheating. And what else too? There's another option that I'm forgetting.
Not really Steam.
Oh yeah, Steam. Yeah, there are Steam exclusives. Or at least there were. I think Portal is still an exclusive.
Yeah.
Or no, it isn't. Never mind.
I don't know. I guess that's kind of true. I mean, there's still PlayStation exclusives out there you can only play on PlayStation consoles. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can play KH, you can play Kingdom Hearts on PC now, but you can't. I don't think you can play like the Marvel Spider-Man games or maybe like the newer Uncharted games. I think those are PlayStation exclusive.
They
Yeah,
are.
you're right. Horizon,
Yeah.
God of War,
Mhm.
PlayStation still has plenty.
Yeah.
It literally, I just think Xbox is the only one that doesn't really have too much of a reason to exist, and I don't want to pick on them, but I just
Yeah.
don't understand.
Well, here we
Yeah.
are. I'm Team
Yeah.
PlayStation, Ryan's Team Nintendo, Dylan's kind of a PC fan.
I am like I don't know, man. I'll tell you this though. The portable scene is not good in terms of PC. I don't know if I want it to be good. Like, it's not necessary. That's not the niche. Like, that's not there. I don't believe there's a market for it. I really
Are,
don't.
are you
I
That's
don't
how I
know.
feel
referring to
about the
the
Steam
Steam
Deck.
Deck or
Talking about
the
Steam
PC
Deck, yeah.
or the laptop or laptops?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually with you, Dylan. So most PC gamers don't like controllers as much, especially
Yeah.
for shooters.
Yeah.
They're way more comfortable with mouse and keyboard. Steam Deck doesn't really support that unless you plug in, which at that point, why would you not have a PC?
Right.
I mean, having everything be on your Steam Deck through Steam is nice, but also the limited memory compared to a PC is kind of lacking. And unlike Nintendo games, Steam games are kind of chunky.
Yeah.
And especially if you get the less memory Steam Deck, which is more expensive than a Switch, you're gonna run out of storage fast. And if you do get one of the more memory intensive ones with the SSD with faster load times, and that's I think gonna be $600. Which why not get a PC at that point?
Right.
And I think PC gamers are just more comfortable in their home when they're playing.
Yeah.
Typically, I'm not saying there's no market. I think the market is small.
Here's what I'll say. I guess this might be a hot take between the three of us. I am looking forward to the Steam Deck because of the variety it has to it. Do I think there's a market for it? Maybe. I mean, it's kind of like there's a market for portable, the Switch being portable, so I don't see why the PC master race doesn't want a portable console, sort of. I don't know.
Two answers to that. Japan and children. I think
Fair
Japan and
enough.
children are so. You have to remember in Japan, bullet trains and public transportation way bigger of a thing. Portable gaming is huge in Japan and tiny in comparison in America.
Yeah.
And children are never the ones driving. They always need distracted. Portable gaming suits them better.
Okay.
So, and those are more of Nintendo's core audiences as opposed to Steam. I'm not saying there's no audience for Steam, but also the one of the appeals I hear for the Steam Deck being emulation. I don't think emulation has a huge scene. Downloading ROMs is illegal, which you need for emulation unless you extract the ROM from whatever you have yourself. And so I don't think it's well situated to succeed. I am not saying I don't want it to succeed. I do.
Yeah.
The more competition, the better, so that everyone is incentivized to improve. And obviously, Steam is huge. Steam is the best video game distributor in the world. Also, I think emulation is really important for video game preservation. But I am very skeptical of its success. I will personally probably not be getting one, especially unless the price drops.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm open to it succeeding. I'm hoping for it succeeding, but I am
Yeah.
very skeptical, and I think they're kind of missing the key of their core demographic, and I think that might be devastating to them.
Maybe. I don't know. Their whole motto is, though, you can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want with this device. And I think that's pretty crazy. Like, we talk about how all these consoles have exclusives, and in a way, the Steam Deck just says, okay, so all your favorite consoles, they no longer have exclusives.
Well, PCs do that too.
Yeah, they do. I'm saying that because it's like remote play, like I mentioned before with PlayStation. Windows can run remote play. I'm sure the Steam Deck will too if you have Windows on there. There's not really a reason to play remote play with your docked PC because probably pretty close to your PlayStation 4 or 5. But
Yeah.
you're more incentivized to actually play PlayStation 5 on the go with your Steam Deck, which actually has a controller, as opposed to on your cell phone, which has tap controls, which has touchscreen controls. But that's at least my perspective on the matter, and I'm hoping others would probably be in the same boat, maybe. And the thing is, there's also the whole Kingdom Hearts 2 rando game that I absolutely love doing, and I could not imagine actually playing that on the go. So the idea of actually doing that is insane to me.
I agree those are a lot of good benefits,
Yeah.
but it does also kind of miss the appeal of like the gamer chair and the big monitors. Like
I guess.
you'll always have the limitation of the small screen. And I think PC gamers, that matters more to them than it does to Nintendo gamers. So like I said, there are plenty of benefits.
Yeah.
But I think there are drawbacks that will negate a lot of the PC master race core demographic. How do you feel about this, Dylan?
No, I think you're pretty much right on that. The appeal to it, like you said, is maybe it is more of like an experience. Like the experience is more important. Like massive screens, keyboard and mouse. Like I think that's definitely more important than being like, I'd like to pick up and go play League on the train.
Yeah. I think.
Well, yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry. Oh, I guess I was just gonna say. I think part of the reason why I'm excited for the game console is because personally, I never really warmed up to the keyboard and mouse controller. I always preferred just playing with an actual controller, but that's just personal preference.
Yeah, no, and I'm actually pretty with you. Actually, when it comes to shooters, I actually prefer controller for everything except for shooters when I want to do well. When I want to enjoy myself in shooters, I actually still use a controller. So it all depends on kind of what I'm looking for. If I'm looking to succeed or if I'm looking to relax.
Yeah.
But also, too, there's still the argument for just the normal PC of like, well, even if you're a controller gamer, well, just hook up your controller to your PC.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm not trying to put down the significance of the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck is a really cool idea. I think it will find some amount of success. I'm skeptical to how much, and it's one of those things where it's for some people and not for others. I don't think it's for me, but I respect the fact that it is for you, and I'm really happy you're excited about it. But I'll just have to wait and see. I'm kind of on the sidelines on this one, I feel.
I'll say I've been praising this console, but there is one thing I don't like about it. I'm sure you'll both agree with me on this. And I mean, Dylan more so than Ryan probably, but I don't like how limited it is when it comes to trying to improve the hardware of it.
Oh,
it's
not
like
doable.
I can see the inside of my created PC right now. I can just look over right to the right and see it, and like Dylan has told me, we can just open that window up and add better hardware.
Literally anything.
Literally anything.
As someone who has modified someone who has modified the RAM in a laptop, that's hard. The Steam Deck is going to be worse.
Yeah.
Updating the RAM in a laptop is a pain. You actually, those traction slips, you have to peel it off, poke through a kind of mesh, or I guess a film, unscrew the base, take it apart, and then you have to find your way to the RAM, and it is a hassle. And you are taking apart and the traction thing will never sit right again. So they're not meant to be opened, basically, is what I'm saying. And the Steam Deck is even worse. The Steam Deck will be even worse. And the components will be smaller. They might not even be modular at all. They might all just be baked into the motherboard. I don't know.
I mean, I'm happy I can add storage to the device, I guess, but I just prefer being able to improve it even more, because that just increases the console's life cycle. Because how long has the PC been, I guess, the current console? pretty much
Forever.
always. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much forever. If you played PC games in 2004, you could easily, maybe not the same PC, but get a new PC and play those same games or new games today in 2021.
Well, and
That's some.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's something you can't really do with like consoles and stuff. So I guess that's where praise can be shown for the PC Master Race.
Mhm. What's is it the Argonaut that's the Greek ship where it's like if you replace
Yeah.
every board on the Argonaut, when does the Argonaut become a different ship? PCs
Yeah.
are the same way. When does
Yeah.
the PC become a different PC if you replace
Yeah.
every component with a stronger one?
Right.
I don't think it's the Argonaut. I don't know. Theseus's ship.
Yes, I was gonna say Mobius, but yes, Theseus. Theseus' ship.
Theseus's ship, something like that.
Yeah.
Getting all philosophical on us.
Ship of Theseus.
The ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Theseus and the Golden Fleece. How many times can we see Theseus?
Not enough.
Such a great Greek word.
Such a great Greek word. Okay. Is there anything anyone wanted to add on portable gaming at all?
I don't think so.
My
No,
I guess long-term prediction is that others will try and copy Nintendo, and no one can do Nintendo better than Nintendo. And I don't think they'll necessarily be successful. And I think Steam will find moderate success, but I don't think they'll find what they want. I don't think they'll find what they're looking for, and I don't think there will be a second iteration of the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I'm sitting with this.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what? I just think Nintendo's better suited for it. They have their core audience, and it might not work for them forever either. But I am curious about the Steam Deck. I am trying to stay optimistic, and I hope it the best.
Yes.
So I guess what I'll add is it makes a lot of sense what's going on with portable gaming at the moment because Sony and Xbox, they're pretty confident. They're pretty happy with their at-home consoles, the PlayStation 5, Series X and S. They're pretty happy with that. They're relaxed. They don't have a need to go out of their way to make a portable console like they did like at least Sony did like 5-6 years ago. So I think they're doing perfectly fine in that capacity. Nintendo's doing great too with the Switch and everything. I will say I do kind of prefer it how things were. This is gonna sound hypocritical in so many ways. Please don't bash me in the comments, but I like having that separation between portable gaming and at-home gaming, not because of the convenience, but because if you have portable gaming as your at-home console, you're gonna have to like hold back on what you can do at home with the console, like you're sacrificing frame rate, you're sacrificing HD, you're sacrificing 4K just so you can take it on the go. And we've seen that with the Switch.
Well, I actually don't
So-
think that is a necessary sacrifice. In fact, a lot of the ideas of a Switch Pro that stemmed from the community are the dock has hardware itself, and when you plug the Switch in, they integrate to make a stronger system. I don't think
I'd be happy with that.
that I think would be ideal. Now, I don't know as a relatively non-tech guy how feasible that is, but I would conceptually love that.
Yeah, me too.
So I think in the future they can still do both and get the best of both worlds, but that's something we'll have to see over time.
I mean, I'd enjoy that myself as well, but I don't know. I just I like that separation that we had with the Nintendo Wii and the Wii U being separated from the 3DS and the 2DS and the DS Lite and the DSi. I just felt like that worked fine, but maybe that's just me living in the past.
No, I think there's something to be said. I think the primary draw for these companies to merge them actually is that the technology's somewhat there. You can still have a good experience on the go, without limiting the stable hardware too much. But also, they had to have two teams. You have the DS team and you have the Wii team making exclusives for each. Now you can just double the exclusives for one console and then get twice the appeal.
Maybe.
And so I really think that's the draw for them and why it might be here to stay.
Yeah. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think I have anything else to add. You guys killed this one.
Yeah.
If we're ready to vote, I'm ready to volunteer.
Okay. Okay, so let's go for number one first, like last time.
Yes.
Hang on.
Okay, I think I got my answer.
I think I have mine, maybe. What about you, Ryan? You think you're ready?
Yeah, I have mine.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
John.
Me.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
I felt weird. I didn't want to vote myself, but I wasn't sure. Okay, are we doing player 3 next?
Yeah. I think we're all going to unanimously decide this one. I'm sorry to say.
3.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ryan. No, I'm kidding.
We ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Dylan.
Gentlemen. God damn it.
And then we're in agreement that Ryan's player 2.
I would say that. So certainly.
All right, so that's our rankings for today's episode. Any ideas about what our next episode will be about? I guess that will be.
We kick somebody off, so it's just 2 players now.
Yeah, it's Survivor now. It's all of a sudden Survivor.
Well, in the folder we have, there are plenty of options. So if you guys want to take a look and we can decide real quick. So there's the Disney.
Hang on, this is what, the 4th episode right here?
Yeah.
I'm checking right now. We can do the Disney discussion. We can do the Kingdom Hearts discussion.
The genre debate. Each of us give our top 5 for single player and multiplayer, or an episode about cognition and the self, which is less up our alley, but something I do want to tackle. A little more philosophical.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a preference?
Or we can do the Smash Brothers discussion. I think we're saving that for the season finale.
Yeah.
So we have 2 more episodes in this season, by the way. 2 more to go. Let's do the season finale. Well, we have 1 episode and then the season finale.
Let's do the Disney one. That's something we all, I think, would have strong opinions about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, next time we will do the Disney discussion. I'm excited for that.
God, Dylan looking shredded.
I hate Disney.
He's ready
pulling out the guns to beat the mouse.
I'm ready to go fight Disney. I'm pulling up to their doorstep. They probably just know I said that right now. They probably just heard that.
Yeah.
Scared.
Yeah, they 100% know. They should be shaking in their boots.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode.
Thanks.
Hope you all enjoyed. Bye.